Big changes coming to ProStar Realty. I just trimmed my nose hairs on today's Unnamed Real Estate Podcast. Do I sound hot? I think I'm sounding hot. Oh, wow. So what a day, what a day, what a day. Howdy there, friends and neighbors. My name is Charles Ray Dawson. I'm associate broker with ProStar Realty, and this is the Unnamed Real Estate Podcast. And a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on. Got the word this week that we are actually moving offices, which is why you're seeing me in a t-shirt today. And been cleaning out some of the desks here at the office and whatnot, and going through the warehouse and getting everything organized to get carried off and moved to storage and tossed in the dumpster, whatever the hell we need to do with that. And once again, I have to apologize. Just have not had enough time to do my workout properly on this. And the other thing is I'm using a new camera. And I got a real serious case of YouTube video envy this week. I'm watching another video and just looking at the camera work and the lighting and all the myriad little details go into it. And I'm looking at it going, I want to be like that. And I also happen to be listening to a podcast, Tim Ferriss, and he's actually did a podcast this week on how to do a podcast, how meta. And he mentioned that when he does need to do video, he uses a specific kind of Logitech camera. And so I picked one up. This one will record in 4K, so you can see every pore on my face. And trust me, I have plenty of them. And then just got that set up, and my computer seems to be handling it right now. I keep getting these little flashes saying that I'm lagging and whatnot. Hopefully this is not affecting the video quality at all. This video right here is at 4K at 60 frames, recorded raw, and I'm going to run that through my processors and stuff when I edit everything, and hopefully it will come out the same. My old software that I used for recording allowed me to do the fades and whatnot, where I could have my picture in the middle of the screen, and then I would go down to the corner and you'd see the numbers, like we'll run the numbers. This Logitech does not have that, and I don't know if you can because of the color of the screen and stuff, but if I hold my hand, this hand, right here, you'll probably see LOGI, right, on my ring, on my finger. And what that is this is a software that I'm using right now. It came with this camera. It's also watermarking everything, at least as I can tell, it's watermarking everything I record. And I'm probably going to be shopping around for some new software and whatnot, just to update to update, because I just want to be pretty. I want the pretty video. And but like I said, a lot of things, right? The reason why you're looking at a different angle is because I'm playing around with filler lights, all right? And looking at different ways to do filler lights. And do I bring the filler light back here and do something that's called a head camera or an edge light, which is supposed to throw you a better contrast between you in the foreground and what's going on behind you. I tried recording another room yesterday with this thing, and it's just white on white on white on white. I look like I was like, in the show The Prisoner or something. So messing around with a lot of different things. And in the middle of the whole show, we're moving offices. So I have no idea what's going to be going on at our new location and how that's going to turn out. So, all right. So that's the highlights. I did get responses to what people want. All right. And I really, really, really wanted to follow up with that. I'm going to try something that I've never done before. All right, I'm going to work without a net. I'm going to work without actually looking at what's going on my screen. And because gentleman who is a broker responded to my my video last week, and this is, and his response and everything really was the kind of feedback I was looking for, right? All right, and you can see in the notes from the week before, this gentleman's name is Reuben Moore. I covered his, I did a review of his book, a while back. If you are in North Carolina, he's definitely the guy to go with. He said, what do real estate communities want? I'll take a stab at it. I would say they want what all consumers want, a fair and decent value proposition. It's just that in the murky field of real estate, that can be awfully difficult to find. And that's what I'm getting at when I ask the question of what do people want? Because a decent value proposition means that they're getting what they're looking for, and not having to overpay for it. And if you're a real estate agent, pick up his book, all right, The Competent Broker, read it, memorize it, hold it close to your heart, put it, and follow the words that he's talking on. And but seriously, the clientele, buyers and sellers, they want a decent value proposition, right? They want to think that the money that they're paying, the listing agent to list their house is actually going to bring them value, right? And is actually going to, make their transaction better than going with anybody else. On the buyer side, because remember, traditionally the buyers didn't have to pay anybody. All right. As it is right now, when you're working with me, you're not paying me, but you are guaranteeing that I get paid. And there's the difference on that we covered 2 weeks ago, and you can watch that video and break down the buyer broker agreement, which I'm going to actually have as a separate video down in my group where I'm covering the various documents. But part of what I was asking about that question is also, what do agents want? And with our move and everything that's going on in a ProStar and big strategic planning, I realized that the designated broker, right, and the designated broker is the man or the woman, all right. That is the person who all the other agents work for eventually. I'm an associate broker, all right. What that means is I have passed the licensing for brokerage. I can go out there and start my very own brokerage. All right, Ray's taking over the world, realestate.com, or whatever you want to call it. And I can go out there and do everything that any of these big name brokerages can do if I had enough money. All right. So what does, so I was thinking, what does an agent want from their broker? All right. And a lot of brokers think they have what they want. All right. A lot of brokers out there say they don't want to pay the broker. All right. They just want money. These are these 100% houses. And the 100% house is that you are not splitting with the brokerage when you're working for, right? And you can go and work for one of these guys and theoretically keep your entire commission, right? And that sounds like a pretty slick idea, all right? But what they do in return for you, for letting you keep all your money, is pretty much nothing. I'm not going to say that they have a lot of things in place, right? But they don't have the broker support. Like, I can pick up my phone, call Steve McCamey at ProStar Realty, all right, and he's going to answer, right? Unless he's on the phone with somebody else, right? When you're an agent calling, a broker here at ProStar, the broker answers. I was just talking to another brokerage this week, and they have 3 brokers who do a rotating call thing, and you just do a round robin until you get one who actually picks up the phone, and then you deal with your problem with them. And it sounds like the designated broker, right, isn't even in the picture. And remember, the designated broker is the person who's actually running the show, but you never talk to him direct. And this is a company that's managing 800 agents, and they're headed for 1,000. Right? I mean, more power to them. But in return for having a designated broker that you never see, except maybe when we have a Christmas party function or anything like that, you have 3 other agents or brokers that you need to contact with, managing brokers. But you don't have that I need to whine to Steve benefit that you have when you work with a smaller brokerage. Or what I used to do is I called it the stupid question of the day. When I got started, I was full of questions, and I would walk up to Steve and go, hey, here's my stupid question of the day. And then as I got better, it became the stupid question of the week, and then the stupid question of the month. And now I probably have a stupid question about, once or twice a year. And usually it's one of those, is this allowed? Hey, broker, am I allowed to do this under your license? And He's told me no a couple times, all right, because it's his house and we play by his rules in his house. And I'm completely on board with that. The But what else do agents want, right? And it's like, we don't want to have to pay a commission. We want leads. I talked to this agent, one from another brokerage, and I said, what are the leads like? And he was like, that word, what does that word mean? His brokerage did not share leads with the agents. You could buy them, all right? You could buy them through the brokerage, but not a just honest God, raw, organic, hey, Ray, here's somebody they're qualified, go sell them a house, kid. And that's a thing. And other thing is, technical support, documentation support. Right? Are you going to have somebody there who can help you out? Dealing with all your paperwork involved. I mean, I got folders and folders and folders. I'm old school. All right. I like paper. I read 9 pages of paper better than I read 9 pages on a screen, no matter what the resolution is. With 9 pages, I can see a line that says see line 27. I can go right to line 27 and compare the two and see what's happening. All right. With, online, you got to scroll. All right. And just the amount of filing that we have to do, hitting the deadlines and, coordinating with home inspectors and everything else. Does your brokerage do that for you? Do you have somebody in there? You can do that. Some of these brokerages, especially these 100% houses, they don't actually have that organic, right? But you can pay for somebody. You can pay for what's called a transaction coordinator. And that's a third party that's going to handle your back end as an agent. So you as an agent can go out there and do what you do best. All right. And unfortunately, what that is for a lot of brokerages and a lot of agents nowadays is what they do best is market themselves. All right. Going back to that rock star the other day. So if you were a rock star and all you wanted to do is go out there and get the next client, all right, and get the next transaction, and then you kick all the heavy lifting over to your transaction coordinator because you're paying that person individually, and then there's nothing to kick upstairs. That might look like a pretty good system for you. Other things that these places tend to do is that you're paying for your own signs. All right, for a sign to show up, all right, you have to buy the sign. You have to make sure that a sign company has your signs in stock. Right? And then you call and you pay money out of your pocket as the agent for the sign company to run out there and put the sign up for you. And when you're at a non 100% house like you're at ProStar, I literally just call Jessica. Jess, I need to sign up at this address, on Thursday. Great, get it done. Do you want a flyer box on that? Nah, don't need a flyer box on that. Do you want a rider on that? Yeah. Get the sparkling pool rider and have that put on the bottom of that. So that's but this goes back to Ruben's concept of the value proposition. All right, it is ProStar's value proposition speak to Ray. All right, and does the value proposition of me making a cut to the house and having the signs go up and I don't have to track those things down, having a very compared to what other agents pay for their E&O insurance, all right, we don't pay a lot here at ProStar. So that kind of stuff, website design, everybody's always talking about CRMs. Oh, we have an in-house CRM, and that's customer relationship management. That's the stuff that allows me to annoy you with my emails. Where all of a sudden you get a very canned birthday email from me going, hi, happy birthday. I hope it's great. Remember me for your next real estate transaction. These CRMs will automate all that for you. So where am I going with all this? The value proposition, all right, and what you, the consumer, or you, the agent, wants is different for each and every individual person. I am leaning more towards what I call the iPhone model. And what I mean by the iPhone model is nobody needed a smartphone until they glanced over and saw a guy with a smartphone. The consumer itself was not aware that product was out there. Up to that point, there was no desire for that product to be out there until somebody invented it. and put it out there and looked at what this can do, right? And the same person who invented that, all right, or the same team, all right, also invented the iPod, right? And the very concept of having a little piece of plastic like that with some earbuds hanging out of it that you could put your entire CD collection in was unheard of. So what I'm thinking and what I'm wondering is it not so much what people want? Is it something that people don't realize they're going to want because they've never seen it? That's a fun question. So on top of the move, and on top of, playing around with my new camera, and a failed attempt to purchase a property management company, which only failed because of a disclosure issue. And that issue with disclosure was they didn't want to disclose anything. It's been a very, very busy week, but we're going in some really, I don't think I've been this excited for quite some time. I'm having a lot of fun right now. So, unfortunately, when Ray's having fun, Ray's not working. When Ray's not working, you guys get a short video. So let's go to the numbers, and we'll do a wrap-up right after the end of the numbers. Now the numbers for October 20th, 2021. Actives this week were 7,550, which is up 9. New listings were 2,452, which is up 80. Our coming soons are 820, and our under contracts looking for backups are at 1,100, down 5. Our contracts with buyers contingencies are at 122, which is up 23 from the week before, and the highest we've seen since we started tracking that number. And our closings were 2,297, which is 316 more than the week before. And our pendings are unknown, because I didn't copy down all the numbers. I looked at it to do this chart, and it was saying 197. I can't guess if it was 1970, 1975. So we're just going to leave that blank right now. So that's the mystery for this week. And that's the end of this week. Completely sorry about missing the number when I was typing everything in. That I was in the middle of trying to type everything, get out of the house, rush, and I just missed hitting a button. And I honestly, I thought about, okay, well, maybe I could just run today, look at that number today, but then it would be off, and it wouldn't have the same. It just wouldn't be the same. So, end of this week, one other thing I'd like to mention, that we lost another agent last week. The guy got shot by his client this time around, and honest to God client, and client was upset with the house that he purchased sight unseen and called the agent up. The agent apparently went out there to try to smooth the waters, answer his questions, and wound up getting killed by his client. So if you're a real estate agent out there, remember, guys, take care of yourselves, watch your back, watch your clients, all right, and have a great week out there and a great weekend.